Hey, Journalism One, it's Miss Smith. How you doing? Okay, this is officially week one of e-learning. Hopefully you have watched the first two videos. The first one being e-learning with Miss Smith, our intro video that explains all of how this is going to work. The second one you should have watched would be today's daily video, Monday, March 30th. It has all the announcements and everything you need to go. And so this would be video number 3. And this is specifically just for J1. Okay, so this is just for you guys. So just to let you know, basically, if there's any kind of announcement you guys need to know, this would be where you'd find it. So you have a few things just to double check, just to make sure. Your biggest thing that you need to know is I will see you guys on Wednesday at 11 a.m. So how you find this is that back on Edsby, right where you have your assignments, I will also have a link to Zoom. So for a Zoom meeting, and that Zoom meeting will literally, you just click on it and it'll link you directly to Zoom. And then at 11 a.m., so maybe like 10:45-ish, go ahead and get online, connect through the link, and then just wait for us, okay? So, and then we'll all get on and we'll chat and say hi and what's going on with you guys. So make sure that you have connected. So you are going to want to, again, I cannot remind you enough, go ahead and get on Edsby every single day. There's going to be something new, whether it's from me or whether it's from anybody else. So a couple things is that Zoom video on Wednesday, definitely. So I can see you at 11 a.m. That's right, 11. Anyway, so two things. I want to remind you guys to continue to watch CNN 10 every single day. Carl Zeus is continuing to do all of his stuff because he knows that we are still in session. School's still going. So even though we're doing this differently, CNN 10 is still going to be a good resource. Know what's going on with the world. Don't forget to take notes. Use your journals and just continue to take notes because I may pull from stuff that he's talking about. So on Wednesday, for example, I may refer to what he talked about. I may refer to current events that are happening. So you don't want to look at me going, hey, what's happening? Yes. So be in the know, stay in the know. You're a student journalist, stay in the know. Especially right now with everything that's happening, you kind of need to know what's going on. These last 2 weeks, a lot of stuff has happened with the stock market, with the medical things, with the fact that the United States is now the #1 carrier of this disease. You guys need to be in the know, but not just that, but also larger things. The fact that most countries now at 8 o'clock everywhere, people are literally standing on their balconies and cheering. Who are they cheering? Medical personnel. So I want you guys to think about that. Like, know what's going on, not just the big things, but the little things as well. Like, know what's going on in Tampa. What is going on with what is Governor DeSantis saying versus Mayor Castor? Like, what's going on? So it's, again, I cannot emphasize that enough. You're a journalist, know what's going on in your world. So CNN 10. All right, so your big assignment for this week. Is, no surprise, it's going to be about coronavirus. So as you probably have heard, maybe you didn't, maybe this is news for you, but they officially postponed the Summer Olympics. Yes, that's right. 2020 Summer Olympics were supposed to be where? Tokyo. Very good, guys. I know some of you guys just looked at me like, wait, it was supposed to be what? Yeah. Tokyo was supposed to host the Summer Olympics. And if you remember, Japan was one of the real hotspots. That whole Southeast Asia area was very much a hotspot for a lot of the coronavirus. And they're still waiting to see if that's going to go. But the fact is that we're continuing to grow on what is that arc is not flattening at all. We're not flattening that curve. And so people were not wanting to send their elite athletes into a place where they meet people from literally around the world and possibly risk exposure that could, let's be honest, potentially kill people. So I don't blame them. It's one of the reasons we're quarantined. It's the reason we only get out of our house to go grocery shopping and find that really random roll of toilet paper. So anyway, so they postponed it until, at this point, I think the last thing I heard was they want to do July 2021. So we have a whole nother year before the Olympics. So what does that look like? And so the news article I have you guys linked to is on News ELA. You can get through it through Edsby or through Clever. Both of those I've linked to your accounts too, so you can go ahead and click on it. On News ELA, you can actually look through, you read through the, you're going to read through the article. I printed it out for me. And just kind of talking about what's going on and what does that look like. And the fact is, the Olympics aren't the only things that have been postponed. There's major events literally all around the world that have been postponed. There's, World Cup qualifiers. And I mean, for Pete's sake, the baseball season still hasn't started. They're thinking maybe July, maybe, I don't know. So, um, they've basically finished up. There's no March Madness. There's just everything's being affected globally. And so some of the questions that you'll get on Newsy LA to kind of respond are really crucial too. So make sure you do those. That's going to be part of your grade. But the bulk of your grade, to be totally fair, you're going to read the article, but you're also going to go and research other articles. Like find out about them canceling sporting events, the major seasons, what's going on with Premier League, for example, in Britain, and soccer around the world, is a huge sport except for here in America. So that's basically equivalent to their football. So it is football, but it's just different kind of football. So how is that affecting us? And movies are being postponed. Mulan got postponed, for example. I was really bummed about that. They've already pushed back the Black Widow movie. Again, bummed. But again, nobody's going to the movie. So they couldn't even do premieres because they were exposing people to congregate in different areas. So think about this. There's a lot that they're not doing because they're trying to save people. What does that look like? So I want you to start researching what else has been affected. So you're going to examine basically how the world has changed since we took break. So we've been off break now for 2 weeks. So we've been gone. So much has changed. I want you to even look at numbers, like look at the numbers, like even in the state of Florida, how many people actually had coronavirus when we left March 13th. How many people have it today, March 30th? I mean, I want you to think about that. What have we seen, not just here in Florida, but even just specifically in Hillsborough County? What does that look like? Our world has changed in just 2 weeks. What's going on? You're living through history right now. What does that mean for you? What does that mean for us as a city, as a county, as a state, as a nation, as a world? I want you to think about that. So here's the thing. You are isolated, but you're not isolated. You still have people that you still have people you connect with. So you're a journalist. You also have this magical thing called phone, right? You have your internet. You have all sorts of connections with your friends. So I want you to go ahead and I want you to write a 300-word article, AP style, on your own experience, your own response, not just to this thing. Include this, by the way. Talk about how it's being affected, but how are you affected and how's your world? Get quotes from your friends, from your family members. Go ahead and do this. Start putting your own feelings, your own thoughts down. You may want to do an opinion piece, but you may just do something, like a news brief or a feature story or whatever. I want you to think 300 words, 3 paragraphs, roughly. But it's just whatever works for you. Again, what is your response? What is your thoughts? What is your feelings? What are you getting out there? And just, again, make sure you get those quality quotes, not just like, yeah, my mom thinks this is terrible. Everybody thinks this is terrible. Get a really personal response. Have your parents, for example, compare it to other things they've lived through. Your parents are my age and older, so think about it. They've lived through quite a lot, I mean, in their years. And your grandparents, for example, have lived through things like JFK being shot and how the world was in turmoil then. Your great grandparents had World War II. You know what I'm saying? So just think. There have been a lot of global events, and there's been a lot of really scary, insecure kind of things. People are out there. They want to talk. Share your experiences. This is what you do as a journalist: is you get those stories and then you share that story. So also, here's the other thing. I want to hear your story. So on our lovely little meeting on Wednesday at 11, that's right, say it with me, Wednesday at 11, I will talk with you. We'll get online. I'll get to see all your pretty faces, and I'll get to hear your response. And I just want to talk about it. I want to hear what you're thinking and what you're feeling. And so if you have any questions at all, that lovely little Edsby message works very, very nicely. Okay? And anything else, comment below, or Edsby, or whatever you need. And hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. And wash your hands. And I will see you guys on Wednesday at 11. All right? Bye.